So I always try to do those videos where I talk to the camera and incorporate things that I've thought about recently into like a culmination and like develop an ongoing theory in the moment rather than thinking it out and writing it out and then making a video about it. And I think you have to leave some room for that kind of thing because that's how the universe is. It throws curveballs, and you got to be adaptable and leave a little bit of ambiguity in the areas that aren't finite. Which, to give you an example, what I'm trying to say is like, think about how things have changed over 5 years in the lens of like the field of AI, the definition of what AI even is now compared to what it was 5 years ago. Evolution it's not whether or not it's random, it's that from our perspective it's random. We don't understand it enough to have found like a 100% accurate pattern. And so I have found from firsthand experience that leaving room for things to change and for new perspective to come in is always necessary. But I look back on most of the videos and they're about, psychedelics and sacred geometry and stuff, which I don't research. I just hear about from people I decide to either, take on their word or don't. So I don't watch a bunch of different material, but it's one of the things I am interested in because sacred geometry is applicable to psychedelics. They go hand in hand. And we've become so wrapped up in entertainment, people my age and everybody, we've come so far away from, our relationship with the spatial dynamics of every moment that we're in and our surroundings. Before we had phones, we just had real shit to fucking use and have fun with. And like,
I don't have to be.
Your environment has a direct effect on your mind. And, what people who study sacred geometry will tell you is that throughout history, the temples were designed in ways like Stonehenge. They say that it resonates drums and resonates sound to create like sacred harmonies and stuff. This is what I mean when I say spatial, environment. It's like time is important, but so is space. And so getting back to the roots of that level of awareness is one thing, a different topic, but that is the thing, is level of awareness. Because, awareness is a concept that is A, physical, and B, sensory. So it's like people who have a bunch of cluttered shit all over wherever they are, they don't have the space, the room there for things to develop. It's a maximum entropy situation. And so who was it Carl Jung, or is somebody through Terence McKenna's ideology that says this temporal overload can happen when too many event style novelties are occurring, and there's too many things that need to be done in order for B and C to happen in X amount of time. Those things won't be possible. And so I'm going back now to how it's applicable to psychedelics is because if you balance your physical environment with visual things that you connect to in a way that is on the spectrum between noise and chaos, right? So you have like a white wall and then you have like TV static changing dynamic all the way, but there's no information, or it's maximum information 0. So anyway, then you get into the symbolism of the shapes and what they represent in the dogma of sacred geometry. And so looking back on these videos, it's like, how can you apply this stuff to science? And then it's like, well, some people are saying that a convergence of waves is creating a morphogenetic field that interacts with certain parts of your body that exist on a subatomic level that have parts that interact with quantum level stuff. And so it's all connected that way. And they're looking into developing Alzheimer's treatment that basically resonates with sound vibrations. Essentially, you resonate these microtubules in the human brain to reactivate them, and they might help people with Alzheimer's. And then another interesting thing is DMT might be classified soon as a neurotransmitter, because they found so much of it in the same parts of the brain that interact with serotonin and dopamine, that they're saying, wow, it might be actually a necessary function for the brain to process DMT, and it could be to regulate our sense of what's real. You know what I mean? Because visual hallucinations can be triggered by serotonin receptors, or maybe even dopamine receptors, and things like cannabinoid receptors. And there's already this, but DMT, if it's already regulated by receptors, we could discover new receptors in the human brain if it's a neurotransmitter. And so this could be interesting, because then how are you going to govern the legality of possessing something that is necessary for brain functioning? It would be like illegalizing serotonin. So anyway, this is more of a information-based video, but we'll get more into the theory next time.